the president please briefly open it.
Hello, good afternoon. Our meeting today starts.
Rotarian, please all rise for the four-way test. Please be. The four-way test. First,
is it true?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it be goodwill, bad friendships?
fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Please be seated. Please sing the Rotarian song.
R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is known on the sea. From north to south, from east to west, he brought his most who served the best. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is one great family, where friends should bind for man's suffering, where each one strive his best to give. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary.
各位舍友，我们为什么要唱第二节？这是我们扶轮社大同的特色，不止我们唱英文。这个第二节非常好，我最喜欢第二节这一句话：我们每一个人都努力要给予，where each one strive to his best to give，strive his best to give。我们不但是具有，我们要给予，我们努力的要给予。所以我觉得我们第二节也是非常的好。我想我们再唱，可能到下个年度，我是说7月1号开始，我们就可以背了。好，谢谢。
我们还是会把歌词放在前面哈。Introduction of visiting Rotarian and guests. Paz, would you please introduce our guest today?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Rotarian. Let me introduce today's speaker, Sunny Lin. And Rotarian friend come from Sentosa Lands. And Simon's friend, Jerry Lin. Welcome you all.
Thank you. Please let us sing the visiting Rotarian song.
Guests of Rotary, we greet you. Oh, guests of Rotary, we greet you. We want you to feel how our friendship is real. We are glad you're here today. So take back on the leadership. Regards from all the fellowship. And once more, you are near our door. Again, Rotarian, again.
Questions time.
Good afternoon, dear distinguished guests, fellow Rotarian. This is my last second hold microphone and stand here. It's really very proud of to be the Rotary Tatum Rotary Club of the president. And last Saturday, we visit our PE Simon and the Secretary Essen. We visit our sister club of Taipei Metropolitan. I found nothing is permanent, and everything is changed. I found the metropolitan is now is quite different. Their regular meeting, I talked with his president. They changed their regular meeting. Normally 2 times on Tuesday and noon afternoon, and 1 time in Thursday, and another time on Saturday night. Because they say lot of members cannot attend regularly, so they changed. And now I think it's especially on the Saturday, a lot of the members can attend, and they can have different kinds of programs. So it's really, I think it's really very nice, attract many new members. Yeah, it's really different. Yeah, so in the future, maybe we can have different consideration about this. Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you, President Fine. Secretary Hans. First, we will have a June special joint board meeting after this regular meeting. So please, board members, stay after the regular meeting if you can. Second, next week is the recognition and appreciation ceremony, and it will be held on 3rd floor. So all members and sponsors are welcome to attend. And now we would like to invite our speakers. So I would like to invite Juice to introduce today's speaker.
Thank you. It is my great pleasure to introduce you today's speaker, Mr. Sunny Lin. Sunny was born in Taichung. Actually, he was my elementary school alumnus. Also, we have here, along with Lieutenant Lens from Chengdu Sen. We all graduate from the same elementary school. After military service, he went to the USA for higher education. He received a Master of Science degree in mechanical engineering from Arizona State University. Then he started working as an engineer for some famous American companies, such as IBM, Honeywell, and Seagate. In year 2000, he came back to Taiwan to work for Honghai, a famous Taiwanese company. His job functions included engineering, marketing, and program management. In 2009, he retired at age 54. So how lucky a guy he is. More like our 公务人员. So he worked in a high-tech industry for a total of 29 years, including 20 years in the USA and 9 years in Taiwan and China. After retirement, he joined an organization called Toastmasters International, as you might know already, which is dedicated to developing members' public speaking, communication, and leadership skills. Currently, he is the Area 12 Director for Toastmasters International, District 67. The topic of his talk today is Speak to be Heard. So let's welcome Sunny.
Happy to see you all. A couple months ago, David called me and said, "Can you come to our club to deliver a speech for us?" And I said, "Sure, why not? You know, as a member of Toastmasters, we'd love to say something. We are looking for stage time."
Yeah, good.
But I have to choose a topic. I have to choose a title. So I went to ask some of my friends, what do you know about Rotary? What do you think about Rotarians? rich. They are successful businessmen. They serve, they donate money. That's good. Oh, I heard a good reputation that you guys have. But that's not good enough for me to prepare my speech. So I Googled Rotary. Service above self.
Yes.
One profits most, who serves best. Sound great. Now I have an idea. I want to choose the topics that I can help you to help those who are in need. You know that you guys are the elite of the society. But we all know many of them are in need of help. Those are in the bottom of the rank. They lack the confidence. They don't want to change. They are afraid. They are afraid of walking out of their comfort zone. And you guys are rich. No, I would say you guys are successful. You have the power. You hold the resources to help those people. And many times you have a chance to speak in public. And today, when I choose speak to be heard, I want to make sure that I want to confine what I'm going to talk. First, let's figure this out. What is the difference between talk and speak? Here, when we say speak, it really means you're giving a public speech. When you speak, you have a purpose. You have a goal. It's a very serious thing. You have something in mind that you want to spread. You have to prepare the speech. And your target audience are not someone you are very familiar with. That's the speech. Many of us are so afraid of public speaking. In fact, there are surveys say that most people are afraid of public speech, worse than going to dentist. So it's not easy. And we want to say this. I want to say this. Whenever we give a speech, we have to have a clear message. And this message is a gift from the speaker to the audience. And we all hope by the end of the speech, my gift is well received by my audience. And this takes skills. It's not easy. Many of us, especially in Taiwan, even that you are the president, you are the CEO, because in our educational system, we never encourage our students to speak in public. Even in my whole family, my father always asked me, don't speak. Keep quiet, just listen. So today, I'm going to help you to develop some skill and make your public speech more effective. So now I think I have made it clear that speech is what I'm going to say, and I'm going to share with you some of the skills that I have learned over the years that I learned in my club. So So first, I want to say is, every speech has to have a message. And to make it effective, we have to learn how to connect, how to communicate, and eventually, we want to change, we want to transform our audience. And this is the 3 steps that's very important. And many speakers never aware of these skills. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give a demo of what we call a good speech. And in Chinese, we say 演讲. Half of it is acting. Half of it is speaking. 演讲. So this demo is really someone in my association, in my organization, who did it in 2014. And I consider it as one of the best performances that I have ever seen. So I copied it. I learned from him. We all say that fake it until you make it. And so for the following 2 minutes, I'm going to demo something that I have learned. And this is the contents, but that's what I'm going to do now. You and I are not very different from this flower. Just like the flower is unique, you are unique. All of us have something special to make us as beautiful. Do you know what makes you special? Now, the answer to that can be a little bit difficult to find, because sometimes life has a cruel way of taking out your petals. Breaking it in two and throwing you into the trash. Now, when you're broken, it's very difficult to feel special. Mr. President, my fellow flowers, I can remember the first time I broke. I was 17 years old. I flunked my high school, managed to get myself arrested. No, I'm not afraid of the cops. But there was one person that was afraid of. That was my mama. Raise your hand. You have an emotional mother. Put them all together. You got my mama. I can hear her scream outside the police station.
Oh my goodness.
Even the cops were afraid of. She come up to me, held the iron bar, look into my eye, and I see a tear coming down her face. She looked at me and said, "Son, I want you to be a better man." That night, I drove home, and my dad was waiting for me at home. My dad was a cool dad. Raise your hand. You have a cool dad. Yeah, put them all together, you got my dad. My dad come up to me and say, "That's okay. You flunked your high school. You got arrested by the police. That's fine. You got it from your mother's side. Now, start working immediately. Okay, this is a small portion of a speech. And the reason that I demo it, like I say, is I appreciate this performer and I learn from it. And I want to point out there are things that we can learn from this guy, from this speech. Like I mentioned, we have to connect with your audience. But then you ask me, how to connect? How do I connect? You see, I use the roles. When I stand up here, the first 4 seconds, I was silent. And you guys are suspicious. What is this guy trying to do? So you pay attention to me. And remember, I ask a question. I ask, do you know what makes you special? So you got engaged in humor. Put them all together, you got my mama. So a speech can be very profound, but you need, at the very beginning, try to engage your audience. And this is not easy for regular speakers because we never learn these skills. And story is the good thing. It's a very good thing that people can understand, can appreciate, because we all like to hear a story. And we have to remember that what makes us stand out is your storytelling skill. Many of us in the high rank in the company, but we never really learn this skill. We never really learn how to tell good story. Jack Ma Yun is a very good storyteller. I was very impressed every time when I was working at Honghai. When Guo Taimin speak, everybody woke up. You know, when we were working in mainland China, after work, starting at 7 o'clock, we have together, sometimes maybe once a month, we have together, and then they find someone great to give us some technical presentation and something. And this is an auditorium, it has 3,000 people. Everybody was so tired. Many of us haven't had dinner yet. And the speaker was talking, and down below, everybody is thinking, when is this going to finish? When can I have my dinner? Around 9 o'clock, we know Guo Taimin is coming. And all the Taiwanese workers starting to waking up, preparing. No, not because he is the boss, because it's really dark. Down there, as a speaker, you cannot see who is opened up their eyes, who didn't. But we know Guo Taimin will be there at the last 10 minutes, and he's going to tell whatever he knows. He's going to tell his story, his side of story. And it's always interesting, always inspiring. And that's the leader. You know, even though we are so tired, we haven't had dinner yet, but every time he starts talking, everybody just trying to learn, trying to listen to him. So the storytelling skill is very important. So we are going to say, how do you communicate with your audience? And by this, we have to know that we all have our so-called natural frequency. We have to know our audience. And we have to try to resonate with the same frequency so that your energy can transmit through the night into your audience. And this is not that easy. You have to know your audience. Like before I come here, I have to talk to Pamela, I have to talk to David, I have to make sure what is the content of my audience. How good your English ability is. And you have to remember, we have gestures, we have vocal varieties. And you have to remember, in your voice, there is temperature, there is emotion, so that when you're sad, or you're saying something really sad, it should not be too happy tone. Well, this is something that you have to learn, the gesture, the vocal varieties. You have to learn. A good speech is like a micro movie. You have to make it fascinating. And I want to make sure that my speech will not like a classroom. I want to make sure that you guys, when the speech ended, when you walk out of this meeting room, you feel like at least you got entertained. You learned some skill, at least one thing. At least one thing. And we have to remember, when prepare for your speech, and like I said, this is concentrate on how to help those who are in need. We know that people doesn't want to change because they are uncomfortable with themselves. They lack the confidence, and they don't have a good reason to change. So as a leader, you have to give them a reason, a strong reason, a compelling reason, so that they find a guidance. They know they are supposed to change. But for these poor guys, for those who are down bottom, they never envision themselves successful. They never see themselves as success. They don't know how to picture themselves as successful stories. So we as speaker, we have to paint the picture for them. Give them, your future could be better than yours today. And certainly, we have to have belief. We have to make sure that we believe them. They can change and they can transform. So with that, I have connect, communicate, and transform. And you have to remember, the transform is really our purpose, right? When we have a speech, we are looking for the results. And we have to do something that can transform our audience. Okay, now, there are many ways to prepare a good speech. But this is one of the ways that can help you prepare a good story or a good speech that can help you to convince your audience. And we all know that the first 30 seconds is very important. You have to prepare, you have to frame your purpose in the first 30 seconds. Like in my demo, I was talking about someone, everyone is special, but you may not know it because life is so cruel that they sometimes destroy you. But someone may see you as something. Someone is willing to offer the helping hand. So 30 seconds to 40 seconds, you have to give that opening. And you have to frame it. Frame meaning like a picture. You put a picture on the wall, it's a picture only. But you picture in a frame on the wall, look beautiful, look eye-catching. And once you have it set up, this is what we call an opening. And then we have a main body. Main body is where you tell the story. And we all have to remember, when you tell the story, you have to remember values, especially your personal values. Connect people, connect your audience. But personal success disconnect from your audience, because in one class there's only one first place. Everyone else is kind of losers. So when you talk about your values, people can appreciate more. People can easily connect with you. But if you talk about personal victory, it better be at the end. After you struggle all these obstacles, after you make so many failures, after you has been in the abyss, in the hell. So you're starting to tell what kind of obstacles and what kind of failures you made back. I was 17 years old. I had flunked my high school and was arrested by police. That's bad enough. 17 years old, right? And you need to have one critical incident. After so many failures, when you saw your mother cry, tears of shame, that's a life-changing moment. Life-changing moment. That's a critical incident. And by doing this, you bring your audience into the hell with you. And because you do, how do you help them to come into your status? Remember, you can see, you can hear, and you can feel. She came up to me, held the iron bars, looked into my eyes, and these are describing the scene. You make these pictures. This is very graphical. You can feel like, oh, something really happened. I saw a tear coming down her face. This is very graphical. So this way, you can bring your audience with you to the hell. And at that time, you ask a question. You say, like, what can you do at this point? Do you have such an experience? Do you have seen this before? So you make audience feel like they are you, they were you. And then, at this point, we are all at the rock bottom. At this point, we need help. So here, your message should come in, because everyone is in such a bad shape. They don't know how to solve the problem themselves. So there should be an external help. You can either goes to your parents, goes to your teachers, goes to your coach, or even from TV message, commercial, whatever. It has to be an external message. And that message should be clear, exciting, and short, very easy to memorize. Like in this case, he was saying, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. Oh, something like an apple a day keeps darkness away. Things like that, very simple message has to come in. So people will receive the messages, and then they apply to their problems, and they can recover from that down bottom situation. And we have to remember the audience, or everyone like a hero that went down to the hell and survived all the trials and come back as a hero. But this process has to be gradual. You cannot, today you are downtrodden, tomorrow you become a hero. No, that's not right. To make it effective, this process has to be gradual. And someone will say, but I don't have a victory story. Then what should I do? No problem, you can give it hope. This is my goal. I'm working toward it. And this is what you can do. We, as a Rotarian, have many opportunities to speak in public. And I don't believe that by listening to this speech, or call this workshop for 25 minutes, and it will improve a lot. But let's all remember that you can learn some of these skills. You can apply this in your preparation stage. And we all have to remember that today's audience sometimes is very sophisticated. They don't want to feel being manipulated. You cannot using one set of formula, just like something like this, and expect that everyone will be persuaded, everyone will be touched, everyone will feel that this is an excellent story. We have to all remember that all of us are unique. And because we are unique, and because that we always thinking that our speech is a gift to our audience, and the sincerity count. People can feel that your sincerity in your speech. So you don't have to follow this all the time. But a good speech will end up with a conclusion that coming back to your setup process to reinforce your message. You just don't want to say thank you and that's it and walk out of the room. Before you end, you want to go back and revisit your opening and see if you have accomplished the goal that you set at the beginning of your speech. And that will make your speech more complete and more effective. And like I say, the workshop is supposed to be 3 hours, but I cut it, abbreviate to 25 minutes. And I hope that today's speech, you learned something, you enjoy it. And if you have any question after the meeting, come to me. I will do my best to help you solve any question that you may have. And thank you very much. Question? Yes.
My question is, you are not Zhuge Liang, but why Zhuge Liang successful in that point? Tell me why. It's quite different.
I think this is a little bit beyond the scope of my speech. First, I think he might not be that good. First, that's what I think.
That's right.
But I do believe that he's very intelligent.
That's right.
And they do have proof that he did something great and beyond the average.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of speechless that when you ask about Zhuge Liang, because we can say that we like hero. We make a figure, a hero, because we are looking for a leader. And sometimes a man become a leader because of the trend. Everybody is pushing that way. But I always say that you have to be prepared. When people want you to become Zhuge Liang, you have to be ready. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe he's not a hero.
You mentioned that Terry Boyd was storyteller. Can you share with us one of the most impressive story you ever heard from Terry Boyd?
Okay. There's so many of them. Actually, many of you might already heard that before. But let me give you a story. This is my personal. One year, we have a so-called technical presentation. And this is supposed to be by the engineering team. But because that day, Guo Taiming was supposed to leave. She's leaving for Taiwan. So everybody thinks that he won't come back. So many divisions send their assembler, the nice assembler, to the meeting, because this is a 3,000 auditorium. And they don't want to send engineer, because once you send an engineer, meaning those engineers don't have time to work on the real thing. So they send the 9 assembler. And around 9 o'clock, Terry Gao showed up. Everybody was, what? And he stopped. This is impromptu. This is 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30 in the night, because he's supposed to come back and give some kind of conclusion. And the first thing that he noticed was, how come certain division head was not there? So right away, she asked the secretary to call those guys to come back. And then he started to give his own versions of speech. And that lasted more than 100 minutes without any preparation. And I remember one thing he mentioned is, he was saying that last week we have a meeting, Christmas party meeting, and I spent about $1 million to prepare for that, because that was for the whole factory. 1 million Taiwanese dollars. And he say, do you guys know for this technical presentation how much we spent? He said it's more than 3 times just for preparing this. And do you guys know which one is more important? You think it's Christmas party or technical presentation? The technology sharing presentation. Everybody was. And then he mentioned something interesting. He said, we all need to emphasize on our essence. We need to develop engineering skill. Because, he said, 1980s, when he first visited Shanghai, the impression that he had was, gosh, the Chinese women was so ugly. Because no one put powder, no one put makeup. But then, 1983 or something, he went back. Gosh, the Chinese woman became so beautiful, so elegant. You know why? Because the year before, the Chinese government opened the cosmetic market to the Western world. And so it's easy to buy cosmetics products. And then everybody put on. He said only take 1 month. Everybody becomes so pretty, or much prettier than before. But he said the technology is not like that. Give you 1 month. Your improvement is gradual, little, very little. But you have to keep spending. We have to accumulate little by little. And eventually, we can be a real technology company. Okay, that's the one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunny. I would like to invite Preston to present our gift to our speaker today. Attendance report. Data, may we have the attendance report, please?
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarian guests. Today we have 20 Rotarian attendants and 1 visiting Rotarian and 2 guests. And the attendance rate today is 69%. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Starting our report. Stu, may we invite you to report?
President Fire and Mr. Lin, thanks for coming. And as we all say, there are 3 things that people are afraid most. First, death. Next is text. The third is public speaking. But you make public speaking sounds pretty easy. And go share with us today. Okay, we have quite a few donations today. First is from President Fire. It's a very impressive speech. We learned a lot. 1,000. The second is from Essen. Essen 是竹竿这个俘虏的典范哦。He's not only acting for Amy today, he also make a big donation today. And he's appreciate today's speech. 的非笔墨所能形容，所以是空白的。
OK。
And the third from PPF. First, thank you, Sunny. You have just had a wonderful speech. I hope you would be one of us. You will teach us more constantly. And the second is congratulations to Essen, because your article is published at the We go 自由广场 today, and your speech is heard loudly.
Your speech is heard loudly.
Loudly. Okay, then from the PB Juice. Thanks Sunny Lin's excellent speech. Welcome Rotarian Dance and all guests. And lastly is from P.E. Simon. Thanks Sunny, wonderful speech. You in touch our Datung members. Also welcome my best friend Jerry, who joined our regular meeting. Okay, love you.
Thank you, Steve. I'd like to invite President Fire. Please sound the closing bell.
Okay, thank you, Sunny, and thank you, Rotarian. I hope to see you all in next, my last.
Okay, it's very important.
Time flies very fast. I'm still scared to be here to make a speech. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for you. See you next.
好，那就是等一下会有一个board meeting，如果有空的话，希望那个board members留下来。
我们来讲。